Hello, not me, browless. Oh my gosh, I put some gel on right now. But hi familia, welcome. My name is Magdalene Janet. If you're new, welcome to the fam. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because we're always here having a good time. And come visit me on TikTok and Instagram because I'm there daily. And of course, welcome back to my goodies. You know what I was thinking literally as I'm doing the intro? Let me curl these lashes. A lash curl will make a world of a difference. And a lip, preferably plumping. Look, it just... If you have no time in the morning, put a gloss, curl your lashes, comb your hair, you're good to go. Brush your brows too if you have that extra time. Oh, the day has come. Do we need to get closer? I feel like we do. Where I'm going to teach you how to find your undertone. When it comes to undertones, there isn't a manual. There isn't a right or wrong way. It's not really black and white because undertones are so diverse. I've heard the whole veins, look at your veins. That's never helped me. I've heard jewelry, like what jewelry looks better. That doesn't help. Along with undertones, I'm going to teach you how to update your foundation. In case you have a foundation that's too warm, too cool, too dark, I'm going to teach you here how to fix it very cheaply too. So let's look at our skin tone first. Want to identify your skin tone. Are you light? Are you light medium? Are you medium? Are you medium tan? Are you dark? Are you deep dark? I am typically medium tan. I could kind of fall in between depending on the brand and how they do their foundations. That's another reason why it's not really black and white. A medium in one brand could be great for me, or in another brand it could be very light. A tan can be my perfect complexion, or it could be too deep. So it really depends on the brand. We're gonna focus on the drugstore because the drugstore tends to run very warm. I don't know why, maybe because it's just a cheaper price. When it comes to high-end foundation, they have more options. There are certain brands that run warmer than others, but for the most part, you could really find your shade. If you're my complexion, either medium, medium tan. When it comes to undertone, depending on the lighting is really depending on what you see. So here right now in studio lighting, I have two lights here, two lights behind me. You can see my tone. I feel like I look a little bit red, but at the same time, a little bit neutral. I always like to match my foundation with my neck and my shoulders. My face will always be lighter because I wear sunscreen every day. I don't really put sunscreen on my body, although I should. If your face is lighter, that's the reason, which is why I want to match with my neck. So as you see here, I kind of look red here, but if you turn, you see how there's a little bit of warmth here? My neck. Like if you look at it, I'm like looking up, it looks a little bit warm. Not too warm, it's just like a smidge. So therefore for me, I can see I am neutral. With undertones, they're not easy because everyone's skin tone is different, especially where you're from, your ethnicity, if you tan, if you don't. When it comes to Latinos or brown skinned people, we can be all sorts of undertone: warm, neutral, olive, cool. If you go into that, you can be like a neutral cool, a neutral warm, a neutral olive, or you could be like a warm, right? And that's it. You could be a cool, but you can probably tap into a little bit of warmth. Let's say you're a warm, but you can also tap into golden. So warm is more orange. Golden is a little more yellow orange, like that golden mix. You can also be peach, but peach can also be like a neutral. You can also be cool. You can also at the same time be rosy because cool in a foundation shade sense is more on the red side. Everyone has a different undertone. Typically, people kind of hit it with cool, neutral, and warm. And then there's the in-betweens, right? But we'll keep it like that with those three just to make it as easy as possible. A foundation in a brand that runs warm is Essence. Color correcting and undertones all falls into like the color theory. So you see this color wheel and you see all the different colors. Typically, the opposite kind of covers one another. See the opposite of purple and blues? It's orange and yellow. You also see the opposite of green is like pink and like purples. It could be a little bit of red. Opposite of red is green. Opposite of blue is orange. It gives you an idea like what the colors are and what kind of goes with what. When we look at the color wheel, we're going to look at the warm side. So that's the yellow and the orange side, which is where this foundation falls into. A quick tip is when you're buying a foundation, especially at the drugstore, read what it says. So if it says like warm sand, warm means the sun. Sand, I always categorize it as the beach, which is even more sunny. So to me, that's just a warm tone, right? Warm sand. You see, this is just warm. If you hear like a neutral, that's warm and cool together. 140 camel. A camel to me is like a golden, warm toned color animal. So amber beige is confusing because beige to me could be like a little peachy, but this is warm. It helps, but it doesn't. Again, it's the type of brand, like most drugstore brands really run really warm. So we're gonna use the shade Camel 140. We're gonna see how warm it is. So you can see not only is it warm, it's a little bit too deep. It is way off. It's not matching at all, right? The opposite of you being warm, literally warm, is cold. What is cold? Things that are blue and or purple, even red, depending on your foundation. Blue pigments are available now at the drugstore. This is my favorite one. This texture is a little bit thicker, a bit more pigmented. This could change the texture of your foundation. If you don't mind that, grab this because this works really well, and a little bit goes a long way because it's that pigmented. Something that's a little more lightweight is the e.l.f. one. It's a little more watery, so it's not as potent, so you would have to use a little bit more if you really want to update your foundation shade. Grab a little bit of the blue, and I'm gonna use this one because it's super lightweight. We're gonna grab the yellow, the warmth, not me making a mess, and then we're gonna mix it with the blue right here. Can you see the difference in tone? The mirror, but look. Now it's a bit neutral. If you add more blue, it will change some more. So let's add more blue to this. If you add too much blue, it can turn gray, so beware. This one's looking a little gray. Your skin tone also will reflect things differently from a paddle that's silver. More coolness. Now this shade is more my complexion. Now we have a neutral foundation to match my skin. See how where we're coming from? If you have a foundation that's too dark because you're tanned and you don't want to waste it and you still want to use it, let's go with this tone. You're gonna add white. White will always lighten things up. If you need anything lighter, a concealer, a blush, a bronzer, foundation, you're gonna use white. LA Girl has the actual pigment and they have this concealer. LA Girl has this blue concealer too. I will definitely tag these for you. You're going to lighten this foundation up because this is a very warm foundation. It's gonna be lighter, a lighter version of warm. If you want it to become a neutral lighter, would add a little bit of blue. In this case, we're just gonna add some white. So here and then here. We're gonna mix. See how much lighter that is? Here, let me add a little. Next to that first one. Melting into my face. Because my face is lighter, and we've learned how to cool down our foundation and how to lighten our foundation. It's really nice to know these things because you never know what kind of pinch you're gonna be in. Maybe you don't want to buy new makeup and you don't have to because these pigments really help. Another way to cool down your foundation, this is typically helpful if you have a lighter skin tone, is using pink, and or if you're a deeper skin tone, using this, what shade is this, orange. Let's move on with another foundation, amber beige. So let's add here and let's add here. You see, whew, this is straight yellow. You can add pink or red, but if you are a lighter skin tone, this one's for you. You see the pink? I'm gonna grab a little bit of this one. And then I think I got too much pink, so let's just move it here. We're gonna mix. It will lighten it also, which is why this would be great for someone of lighter skin complexion. Let's go right next to it. Oh, it's lighter and a little bit cooler, but it really lightened this up. This pink, it acts as a dual corrector, as a lightener, and also as something that will cool down the foundation, because now the foundation is not even like the same thing anymore. Completely different. Super light. A foundation that's too cool. Something is too cool. It's gonna be too red. It could be a too red orange on you. The medium 105 neutral, super cool. Let me mix this. I haven't used this in like 300 years. How red this is. Let's add it right here. It doesn't look as red because it's a small swatch. Let's let this oxidize a little bit. Every foundation is gonna oxidize. Some oxidize more than others. Anytime you take foundation out of the packaging, it's exposed to oxygen. Therefore, it's going to oxidize like a banana, like an avocado. Every foundation does that It's just a matter of which one does it more. We need to warm this down a little bit. Yeah, now that it's oxidizing, it looks red. If you want to warm something down, we can use an orange corrector, make this a little bit deeper as well. Hey, I'm jumping in. It's still the same day. As I'm editing the video, I'm like, wait, I didn't show you this one. It's like an orange red. I do have makeup, so we're going to be using my neck and chest. This will color correct deeper dark circles, any sort of dark spot, help darken a light foundation. This is the Catrice Neutral 46. This is very light. You see that? You guys, I need to get out of this sun. This is why I have my manchas. Pero this is important. I did not want to forget this. I'm gonna get a clean brush, grab this. Orange is very pigmented. It's gonna cool down and darken it up a little bit. Another swatch. This is going to cool down. You see how the foundation's now a little bit deeper but red? So that's the change it does. This is the original. This is when I mixed in more orange, and this is when I mixed in more like a 50-50. So if you are the cooler undertone and you find very warm foundation and you're more red orange, this could probably help more than the actual blue pigment. I wanted to show you in daylight my skin tone and my undertone. You can really see it. I can always see my chest, how it's red. I do reflect a bit warm. Okay, back to the video. Or we can use yellow corrector. LA Girl has yellow and light yellow, so we're using yellow. Let me clean this brush and use the same. So get this, a little bit of yellow, mix, mix, mix. Oh, it already looks warm. So at this point, we would probably make this become a little more neutral right next to it. You see how it's lighter and a little bit warmer? Yellow will lighten up a little bit, kind of like what the pink does. You know what I want to do? Let's use this one again. Because it's so off, I want to see how the pink would look on this. Grab another brush. Let me swatch it again so we have like a good swatch here. Let's swatch it up here. Now let's mix. Yep, it completely lightened it and made it more on the pink side. Also, when you're mixing, if you put more pink, more blues, more of the corrector, it's gonna turn into that color. But the blue, be careful because this easily can become gray on you. So look at all these. Wow. Another one that is very warm is Infallible. I love this stuff. It is so flippin' good. So 482. Let's swatch it. I'm trying to only use this side of my face, but we're gonna have to move on to here. Here. You see the warmth? You see the warmth? A little bit of this blue. Okay, you see the little bit of blue? We're gonna mix, mix, mix. Where's that one? Oh, here it is. Oh, look at that. It melted right on in onto my neutral undertone. This also lets me know that I am neutral because warmth and cool become neutral. Indication like, oh, okay, if I didn't know, now you know type of deal. It does take time to figure out your undertones because it really differs. I want to show you here different lighting. So here I'm in my car. This is early in the morning, so the sun isn't out, but you can see my chest looks very different from how it looks now in this lighting. You can really see a little bit of warmth in my chest, but you can also see a little bit of redness right in the middle. You can also see my shoulders. That's where I feel like you can see the best neutral undertone. And then here I want to show you in sunlight, in golden hour, how my skin tone looks. This has really helped me figure out what my undertone is because I'm not really yellow. You see, you don't see any golden yellow. You see a little bit of red though, sprinkled in with that warmth. And I'm like, okay, that tells me that I am more on the neutral side. I could also be peach. I could also probably dab in like a little bit of coolness, a smidge. Do you know what I'm saying? And all of undertone can probably also melt in with my undertone. One of the biggest tips how to know your undertone is look at yourself in daylight where nothing is reflecting. When I was showing you in my car, nothing was really reflecting because I just, you know, the windshield is hitting me like with natural lighting. In my apartment, I sometimes tend to look warmer because the walls, they're not white. They're kind of like that off-white color. I don't know what it's called. Sometimes I see myself in videos and I reflect so warm, but I know that's not it. If you're outdoors at a park or even in a parking lot where there isn't too many tall buildings, you can probably really see your undertone in daylight. Grab your phone and just look and see. So you'll see if you look a little bit yellow, a little bit golden, a little bit warm. Or you can be like, damn, I'm a little cool. I'm a little red. I'm a little pink. To really see and get to know your undertone. Undertone can also change a little bit if you're tanned. When I'm a little more tanned, I feel like I become more on the cool side more than anything. Also, let's say you're at the drugstore and you're like buying the Wet n Wild foundation because you like it. If it's too warm on you and you get a warm shade, you probably know you're not warm. But like, if this looks like this, that tells me already this is my tone because it's close to my neck. That undertone that really matters, that's what's gonna reflect throughout the day. And with skin warm, that's not me. ColourPop foundation, it looks good on me here, but I put it on my face and I literally look red from my face up. So you'll kind of know that too. Those are the two tips I could really help you with. It's trial and error. There isn't one thing to really help you find your exact undertone. Also, it helps to look at siblings. My sister and I have literally the same skin tone. Also, looking at your parents does help. My mom is deeper skin tone, but with the red undertone. My dad is kind of more my complexion, a little bit lighter, but he also runs a little on the red side. When it comes to brown skin or deeper skins, I do find that a lot of times we run either neutral, cool, or olive. It's rare when I see someone with brown skin that is like straight up warm. I haven't come across that too often. You know, when I'm out and about, I'll look at people's skin tone and be like, oh, they're like a neutral undertone, or they're like a whatever, you know. Typically, if you're my complexion, look towards the neutral and look towards the maybe cooler section where your undertone will match. And the reason why undertone is so important rather than the actual shade is because when you're wearing your makeup and you have body warmth and you've been wearing your makeup all day long, that's where the foundation truly meshes in, looks as natural as possible, and looks like it's all cohesively one. You're one with your makeup. That's why the undertone really matters, because your undertone is literally what shines through your actual skin tone. I'm a medium tan skin tone, but as you can see, I'm a very neutral. I could probably jump into the cool side of things too as you're looking at my skin tone. I have a friend who's very olive. Indoors, she doesn't look as olive. She's my complexion, like medium to tan skin tone, but she's olive undertone. But outside, one time I was looking at her, I'm like, oh yeah, you're really olive. She's like, yeah, like olive. I'm literally an olive undertone. And if you're wondering what an olive undertone, think of olive, the olive in your drink or what you eat. It's the perfect shade of green. I have here this green thing. You have manchas. If you have hyperpigmentation like I do, because I have brown skin, really it's called melasma, and it's just these dark spots. Wow, this foundation really covered my dark spots. These spots right here. See right here, a yellow corrector will even out or help even out that discoloration. If you plop on a foundation on top of your dark spots, they look a little gray. It could look ashy. You're not going to cover it. You're going to just see right through it. Color correcting is an extra step, and it could be a little bit annoying. If you want more of an even base and an even look, color correcting is always helpful. What I typically do is I'll blend it around. Let this dry down a little bit, tap in, apply my foundation. This will give you like an even tone. Yellow typically gets rid of brown. I need a deeper yellow, more like this yellow. Just let me show you so you can see how well this also melts into your skin. Peach also helps color correct. To refer to the color wheel, yellows, orange, get rid of like blues, purples. My manchas, they're not gray, they look gray, but they're kind of more of a brown tone. So do you see this yellow right here? How my skin looks so even. You see that mancha that's right there? You could barely see it. That's where your foundation comes into play. So like right here, that red like veins. It's more color correcting, spot concealing. I want to share with you two foundation shades at the drugstore that are my tone, no questions asked. First up is Maybelline. I'm in the shade 130. I said Maybelline, but I didn't tell you which one. The Super Stay. Isn't that perfect? I love it. Another one that's I consider drugstore is available at Ulta is About Face in M2 Neutral. This one's like about 20 bucks. So M2 Neutral. Looking at it, it looks warm, but it does oxidize more on the neutral side. That can happen too. A foundation can have a neutral undertone, and as you apply it immediately, it looks warm. But if you let it dry down, give it like 15 seconds, it will dry down to neutral. That happens often, but I find that happens more with high-end foundations. Spread it out, and you see, look, it oxidized a little bit, and it's perfect, my tone. I hope this guide on color correcting your foundations, finding your undertone helped. I really want this to be helpful for you because this is one of the questions I get asked literally since I started my YouTube channel, and I'm so happy I was able to finally do it for you. I have brown skin and I am Latina. I could really narrow down my skin tone because I literally see it every day, and my siblings were all brown. If you are lighter skin tone, the lighter tones will help you if you find yourself in the same predicament. If you're my tone, a little bit deeper, these will help right here. Let me know your questions, your comments, your thoughts about this video. It was super fun to show you updated foundation shade, color corrected, undertone. You guys know Carmen. She's always in the vlog. I've done her makeup and she's very fair skinned. So the way I would do her makeup is get my tone, let's say get this foundation shade, add white pigment, lighten it up, bam. She, I believe, is more of a neutral undertone or cooler. I think she runs a little neutral cool. Things like that kind of help me figure it out. And really, she asked me to do this type of video 100 years ago. I will be answering questions in the comments. If you have any, I will add all the items I use in the description box. I will add some of my foundation shades. Thank you so much for your constant love and support. Oh my God, bare face and everything. I hope this video was helpful. I love you so much. Thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click the button right there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.